Hello, everybody. My name is Reynaldo Rodriguez. I am a candidate master from Venezuela. Today, we are going to record a video, specifically the analysis of a game that I play against the streamer John Bartholomew. He is an international master from United States, very popular in the social media, and also a quite strong player. Like 7 days ago, he was doing a live streaming, accepting some random challenge on leeches, and I decided to play some a game with him.
CM Ronaldo R. Ooh, 2501. Guys, is this the great hope from the United Nations?
Okay. The format of this game was 3 minutes and no increment. It was a Blitz game. Well, my strategy to be able to find the challenge against John was send the challenge just in the moment when he finished another game. So he was accepting random challenge. In this case, I started the game with black pieces. John opened the game with D4. Also, you can notice that our rating is more or less similar. We have 2569 and my rapid rating was 2501. So, okay, stronger opponent for sure. And I was playing with black pieces for sure. He was commenting during the game, and commenting a Blitz game without increment, really unique. You need good skills to be able to do this, especially when you are facing an opponent of more or less similar. So let's start. He played D4. I decided to play symmetrical. C4, C6. This is the Slav defense. And after Knight F3, Knight F6. In this moment, he decides to capture on D5. About this move, this is known as the exchange variation of the Slav defense. And typically, this is a move that is aimed mainly to avoid a specific theory of the Slav defense and to be able to play like more or less a schematic game. Really, this is a quite clever way to play for a Blitz game. Normally, I like to play E4 games, but when I play D4 in rapid and I have to face the Slav, I like to do this because it's really quite easy to remember as white. Okay? You don't need to be to remember all the deep theory of the Slav defense. So pawn takes, knight c3, and here I did a6. About this move, well, we can verify in the database. Right now, in the leeches database, the main move here is knight c6. Typically, the position is complete symmetrical, and for that reason, leads to draw positions. Here, the third engine move is a6, and on the leeches database, a6 is the move that have better winning rate for black. The idea of the move is just prevent some ideas with bishop f4 and knight b5, and also the a6 move. It can be quite useful to prevent some pins on d5 at some moments. So I did the move. Also, this move resembles the chameleon variation of the Slav defense. Let me show you that variant. For example, in this moment, if I play knight c3, a6 here is an alternative as well, trying to play b5 to avoid some troubles with queen b3 and be able to develop the bishop out of the pawn chain. That is the main goal in the Slav defense. So basically, the a6 move is more or less the same strategy of the chameleon variation. Be able to develop the bishop out, having the possibility to play b5 in case of some queen b3. So he did bishop f4. I continue with a normal developed move, knight c6. Here, rook c1, the second most frequent move on the database, and here bishop f5. Okay, in the spirit of the Slav defense. e3, e6. Okay, the position is quite symmetrical, and now we are getting a kind of critical moment of the game. In this moment, he was considering, you will be able to see the retransmission of the video. I'm going to leave the link of the streaming in the description of the video here in the channel, so you can see his comments there, the comments of John. He was considering here bishop d3, mainly to continue the development and looking for short castle. He took some time until he decided to play queen b3. What is quite interesting, pressing the pawn on b7. So in this moment, now I need to address the threat. Initially, I was considering rook a7. That is the main move in the position, and because this is a thematic idea in the chameleon variation of the Slav defense. The location of the rook looks very ugly, but the rook is pretty safe. It cannot be chased by the knight because of the pawn covering b5, and eventually black should be able to complete development. During the game, I decide to defend the pawn in this way, knight a5. That, according to the computer, is a mistake. The interesting thing is that with this position, white is getting almost a +2 of this is considered as a mistake, but in the database, there is a lot of games where, you know, the winning rate is the same for white and for black with an equal rate of draws. So also there is a game of the world champion Anatoly Karpov, that's white, where he couldn't convert an advantage of +2. The idea of knight a5 is just attack the queen and protect the pawn, but really this move allows a strong initiative by white, as we are going to see in the game. Let me show you. The correct way to play here is sacrificing the pawn with this move, bishop d6. But really, this is a move that to be able to play this move, basically, you know, you need to know this line very well. For example, in case of queen takes on b7, okay, knight a5, and the queen will be trapped. So in case of bishop takes, queen takes, now, okay, knight a5 on tracks the queen because the rook will be hanging. But black can simply castle, and now there is, because the rook is ready to come to b8 with counterplay over the pawn on b2. This will be really the correct way to play this variation. In the game, I did knight a5, but actually it's a mistake. He did the check, and after knight c6, he took the outputs on e5, increasing the pressure on the pin, and actually is winning a pawn. So here, I play queen b6 to defend the knight, and here really let's say that he lost the advantage, okay, doing this trade on c6, that, as you can see, the computer considers that this is a mistake. Here there is a interesting tactical idea: keep developing, increasing the pressure on the pin, because the queen goes to b6 and leave the rook hanging. So now the bishop cannot be captured because of the rook hanging. And after this, really, black is going to suffer a lot. Indeed, I think that black is probably, losing material. The pawn on c6 is going to fall. But okay, he did the trade on c6, pawn takes, bishop e2, bishop e7 to complete development, and after short cast, now we have a complete balance position. So, you know, even despite I have to face some difficulties because of queen b3, eventually he did this trade, and now my potential trouble, it could be this backward pawn on c5. So I have on mind, you know, the idea of get rid of the backward pawn, pushing to c5 as soon as possible. And here, the position is 0, the valuation of the position is 0.4, it's more or less balanced, and he did b3, what the computer considered like a big blunder. Really, the move is logical because he was concerned about the b pawn, and normally, you know, the natural reaction, it would be probably defend the pawn somehow. Engine suggestion, maybe queen b3 and b4. Really, b4, no, b4 is losing a pawn, sorry. The engine is suggesting h4. I confuse h4 with b4. Well, wow, h4 is really a move quite difficult because it's like it's just leaving the pawn hanging. Crazy engine suggestion. Okay, but queen b3 is a move that makes a lot of sense to try to offer the trade of queens and also probably enable the a4 square for the knight to try to take the outputs on c5, open the line for the rook. But okay, remember, this is a Blitz game. You have to play quick. Really, that was the trouble in the game, you know, that in order to defend the position, I spent a lot of time, you know, to find a good defense, you know, after 95 and the things that happened. Okay, he did b3. Now I did c5. The engine also disliked the move. My idea was get rid of the backward pawn, and I did it. Here the engine is suggesting rook fc8, probably with the same idea, but hoping to recapture on c5 with the rook to be able to have double rooks on along the open path. But okay, c5, queen a3. This was a clever backward move, pinning the pawn on c5, and now I respond with a similar idea. With this backward move, I am creating this defense, and I am ready to capture on d4, winning on the spot. So now he have to do something about the threat, and finally he decides to capture. I took with the less valuable pieces, hitting the queen, and now queen b2. So in this position, the stockfish says that black is slightly better with -1. Probably the reason of that is because I have more space. But okay, also white have a queenside majority and the possibility to create a pass pawn in that sector of the board. Here I did the second best move in the position, that was rook fca, because actually these pieces is not participating in the game and the pawn chain is aiming towards the queenside. This move is the second best move in the position, and even despite the second best move in the position, the computer still say that it's a mistake. Here the engine recommend queen e7 to coordinate the queen with the bishop, looking for this skewer on a3. But okay, rook fca, now knight a4, typical middle game plan, chasing the bishop. The bishop needs to be regrouped as far as possible. Now he did h3 to prevent some background issues, useful move. And here I took the outputs. Really, about this move, I remember that I did this move automatically without thinking too much about the move. It's just because the knight looks quite menacing there. You know, he's controlling a lot of squares in enemy territory, and in some case can be transferred to c5. So he did bishop e5, putting some pressure on g7. The valoration at the moment is 0, completely balanced. And here I did a move that it was a mistake, knight d6. I did the backward move, hoping to reroute the knight, probably trying to get the b5 square and create intersection pawn on a3. But the knight was in a nice output, and really the knight here can propose this reaction weakening the diagonal. So there is no reason to leave the output on e4. But okay, knight d6, bishop d4, hitting the queen, queen b7, and now he's forking the rooks. So he's ready to win the exchange. The unique way to prevent that is trading a couple of rooks. And now the rook is under attack, and here rook to d8, positional pattern to avoid the attack of the knight. He did a very strong move, that was knight a4. Well, this is the third best move in the position. The engine says that it's in an accuracy, but he's creating an intersection point for the pieces on c5. And also, if the knight gets c5, it's going to force the queen and the pawn, and it's winning material actually. So I did a knight b5, creating the threat of bishop a3, and now he did bishop c5. Prophylactic move, blocking the diagonal, and really ready to trade the pieces. And here, I shouldn't allow that white get the c5 square with the knight, because here he can play knight c5, but I am ready to remove the knight. So with bishop c5, he's trying to remove the defender and later get the square with the knight. So in this position, in order to avoid that, I need to play knight d6, blocking the diagonal, and the knight won't be able to take the square because the bishop is using the square. But in the game, I did rook ca, trying to trade some pieces, and after takes, knight c5, attacking the queen and the pawn. Here I did queen a7, again following the pattern. And here I was hoping to trick him because, you know, I create a tactical motive. The rook is hanging. So maybe if he tried to win my rook with a discover check, you know, if knight takes on e6, I can recapture with the bishop defending the rook. If knight d7 check, I can recapture with the queen defending the rook. So this is a tricky stuff for Blitz game, but you know, if you open the link added in the description of the video, you will see that, you know, he just calculate that, you know, and commenting, you know, in a couple of seconds, you know. So really, those kind of tricks, you know, against an opponent of this level, really normally is not working, especially if he's not under time pressure. Now he pushed the pawn to b4 to consolidate the location of the knight here. So the interesting thing about this position is that right now the material is balanced, but even despite the material is balanced, white have an advantage of +4, +5 right now. So, you know, +5 without any single pawn of advantage. So we can describe, you know, the advantage of white is based in the queenside majority, the possibility to create an outside pass pawn, eventually strong outputs on c5, better vision because of the color of the pawn structure, and also the major pieces are coordinated. You know, black major pieces are not coordinated, and this knight can be chased by the pawn on a4. So here I was under big time pressure, and I did a common situation of a correct move in the strategic point of view, but incorrect tactically. I did here this horrible blunder because really, you know, I was under big positional pressure. I pushed the pawn trying to undermine the base of the outputs, and I just missed this kind of long move. You know, the bishop is on the king side, can come to the queen side, just winning the pieces, and after this, the position fall apart. I did some pre-move, trying to fight with some few seconds on the clock and no increment, but after this check, and the rook is hanging on CA, and he took the rook, and I decided to resign because he have, there is no option to flag him or to fight in this Blitz game without increment. So, yeah, about the game, probably the critical element of the game is the main learning for me is that in this position, in case I should try to defend the pawn on B7 in a better way. I have two alternatives, basically. I can do it in this passive way, but very, very solid, and actually it's a justification for the pawn advance to A6. And the other alternative that really I like this a lot is bishop D6, and after the tray and to the pawn, I just cast, sacrificing the pawn and looking for counterplay for the pawn on B2. Also, during when I was playing the game, as he's a higher rated player, a lot of respect. So usually we have that feeling like he should know the theory more than you. But later when I was hitting, his command, he was working, or during the game in find the move. Really, it's not a computer that remember all the move. He was working on the best solution, and even despite that, that he got a quite good position. Really, he missed some opportunities, and I could balance the game. So, well, guys, I hope you enjoy the analysis of this game against this chess celebrity, the international master John Bartholomew. Don't forget that in the description of the video, you will see the link, and you can hear the comments of this live. Thank you very much for watching the video. Don't forget like and subscribe and share with your friends. Hope to see you in a new video. Thank you.